Well, it's time to turn our attention to some business news now. And Hong Kong is facing its first recession in a decade due to the months of protests there. Chief Executive Carrie Lam set to deliver her annual policy address this week. Yuka Royer is on set to tell us more. Yuka, already hearing a little bit of what that speech may entail.
Well, Carrie Lam gave a press conference actually today ahead of that speech in Parliament. She said that livelihood issues such as land and housing were the most important problems to tackle. She also said that the government should consider every means to end the violence after months of protests paralysed the city. As Hong Kong is sinking into recession for the first time since the financial crisis, Lam is under pressure to deliver the kind of policy blueprint that would reassure foreign investors and restore trust in Asia's financial hub. Here's what she had to say earlier.
Previously, every policy address and budget was kept highly confidential. Nobody should talk about it. But this year, because of the uncertainties, the Financial Secretary has announced a whole range of initiatives to help the economy and provide relief to the people. I would be more focused, and I'm sure you would agree that the most important livelihood issue that the Chief Executive should address would be housing and land supply.
Well, the anti-government protests have hit Hong Kong's economy hard, particularly tourism and retail. Charlie James looks at how a lack of spending has led to a rapid downturn.
Two critical pieces of Hong Kong's economy are slumping. Tourism and retail sales are feeling the deepest impact of the pro-democracy protests that are scaring visitors away.
It is, very, very difficult time for the tourism industry, with, visitors' arrival having dropped at about 40% in August, and we're expecting similar numbers in September.
Mainland Chinese tourists in particular are steering clear. The result has been empty hotels and restaurants and a lack of lines for attractions, including Disneyland. For some visitors who do come, that's a positive.
We arrived yesterday, so everything is peaceful. And even better, there is less people. So we feel so far so good.
I was surprised at the hotel prices, so that was good. It was quite a positive, and the flights too. Yeah.
The numbers reflect the empty streets. Hotel occupancy rates are down about 30% from earlier this year, and retail sales fell 23% in August year over year, the steepest decline on record. Last week, Hong Kong's leader, Carrie Lam, highlighted the protests' harm to the economy. She warned that third-quarter economic data will definitely be very bad. Though so far, international finance and real estate have avoided damage, many economists foresee the city's economy slipping into recession.
In mainland China, retail prices keep rising. The National Statistics Bureau says that the consumer price index that gauges retail inflation hit 3% in September, up from 2.8% in August. That's over a year. That's the most rapid acceleration in almost 6 years. China is the world's biggest consumer of pork, but its prices have been skyrocketing because of African swine fever. Pork prices in September was almost 70% higher than the year before, despite the authorities tapping into the nation's frozen meat reserve. With all that, let's look at the markets. Asian shares mostly retreated after Monday's rally as doubts lingered over the US-China trade negotiations. Tokyo's Nikkei, though, was in catch-up mode after a holiday weekend hit by a severe typhoon. European markets were a mixed bag at the open, with London and Paris rising and Frankfurt's DAX down a fifth of a percentage point. Moving on, Facebook has officially launched its digital currency project Libra, despite a recent exodus of partners. The Libra Association, the non-profit in charge of the cryptocurrency, signed on 21 initial members at its inaugural meeting in Geneva on Monday. Just before the event, the company that operates Booking.com and Priceline dropped out, following in the footsteps of PayPal, Visa, MasterCard and several others. Remaining members include Uber, Lyft, Spotify and Vodafone. Facebook plays down the setbacks over regulatory concerns. David Marcus, co-creator of Libra, said it was an awesome day with members coming together on a mission to improve access and lower costs to digital money and financial services for everyone. And finally from me, Easy Rider fans will have to wait a little before they can buy a new Harley-Davidson electric motorcycle. The US maker has suspended production and delivery of its live wire model due to problems with its battery. Unveiled in 2014, live wire is sold for around $30,000 in North America and Western Europe. The rollout of an electric motorcycle was an attempt by the Milwaukee-based manufacturer to attract younger riders as it grappled with an aging consumer base. The company's sales were down more than 6% in the second quarter of this year. And that's it for business.
Thanks a lot, Yuka Roy there with our business update.